Are you looking for affordable land? Today I'm going to cover our 70 properties, almost all of which come with owner financing, and we're going to do our Would You Buy This segment where we review a listing that one of you submits to see if we would all buy it. All right, so here's the itinerary for today. I'm going to start with our free land giveaway because who doesn't like free land? I'll do some quick property updates, so what will be coming up in the next couple days. We'll do our deal of the day, and then we'll get into our Would You Buy This segment. So if anyone who's joining live has a property that they would like me to take a look at, my team and I, and everyone who joins to take a look at, just drop it in the chat. If not, my partner will give the property, and he always picks interesting properties. So we'll take a look at that. And finally, I'll wrap up with a fact of the day and a free gift for everyone who joined live. All right. So let's start with the free land giveaway, actually, because as I said, who doesn't like free land? So if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see that we are, Zaphael. Hi, Judith. Hi, everyone. And Zaphael is giving us a property today. It's exciting. Wisconsin. Okay. Looking forward to that. Okay, so on our YouTube channel, you will find our free land giveaway. On January 1st, we are actually giving away a free property. And it's not just a property, we're giving away a whole bundle of goodies with that property as well. So you can check out all the details on the video. And if you'd like to participate, just leave a comment on the free land giveaway video, letting us know why you're interested in free land. And also subscribe to our email alerts so we can keep you updated. And you can find those by going to our website and clicking subscribe to email. So you do those two things and you could be in the running for free land. I'll be giving away that property live January 1st here on the YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Eastern. So looking forward to that. Okay. Now you can find all of our properties at land.gocap.com. Anyone who's not familiar, my company is Gokche Capital. My name's Erica. We buy and sell vacant land, and all of the properties that we sell are properties that my company owns. So we're not real estate agents. That does mean that almost all the properties do come with owner financing. So if you're interested in owner financing, just reach out to us. Let us know what you're thinking. But you can find all the properties on our map here at land.gocap.com. Most of our properties are in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, and New York. And we are in the process of buying a lot more properties at the moment. So we'll have more properties in Florida. We should have some in Arizona coming up, and in Nevada, New Mexico, and Colorado. And hi, Avi. So Zaphael beat you to the listing today. We're gonna do his Wisconsin listing. So I'm looking forward to that. Now below our map, you will see a table with all of our available properties. And today I did want to highlight, because I did a live stream earlier today on the property, so I quickly wanted to highlight again our deal of the day, which is number 609 Burke County. This is a mountain lot in western North Carolina. And you can see it's 0.68 acres. It's in the Pine Mountain community. And if we zoom out, you'll see this is a community that's in the foothills of the South Mountains, just to the east of the South Mountain State Park. Yeah. It's a pretty lot. Yeah, I like it too. It's pretty. It would make a good vacation cabin getaway, or just a recreational lot, potentially investment property as well. Okay, yeah, I can do different properties. That might make sense. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, moving forward, I won't. But since I started this one, I'll just wrap it up. So yes, this is just to the west of the South Mountain State Park. Great place for anyone who loves the outdoors. You can see from the drone footage that it's a very green area. We're in the foothills of the mountains. and it does have electricity and maintained roads. So you can also find the drone video on our main listing page. And a link to the GPS coordinates. Now I will note that this is in the Pine Mountain Lakes POA, actually. It's a property owners association. They maintain the roads. And we do have a link to their CCRs if you would like to review those. But the primary purpose of the POA is to maintain roads because unfortunately the county doesn't out here. And it is a mountain area, so the weather can be hard on roads. So, yeah. Okay, so this property is currently listed at a price of $6,997 plus the dock fee, and we do offer owner financing. And I will say we will tailor those owner financing terms to meet your requirements. Just let us know what kind of down payment and monthly payment. Okay, I can explain. So a property owners association is an association kind of like a homeowners association, but it usually has less restrictions. Most of the time, property owners associations are really there to maintain things like roads and common areas and make sure that the area is kept clean and like at a basic level of maintenance. So it usually has less restrictions, less requirements around approvals for building, things like that. But yeah, it is an association. Most property owners associations were created primarily to maintain roads in areas where the local government doesn't maintain roads. And that's unfortunately a lot of the rural US, which I hadn't been aware of until I started selling land. So that's our primary purpose, to make sure roads are maintained where the government doesn't. But yes, we do also offer owner financing on this property. So just let us know what kind of monthly payment and down payment would work for you, and we'll tailor terms that are affordable for you. I do just want to note, though, that with owner financing, we do say no building or living on the property until the end of the loan term, and that's for liability reasons. But you can use the property for recreational purposes as long as you're in compliance with all local regulations. And we do often allow minor improvements, so things like clearing, getting the property ready, like a building pad ready, sometimes small storage buildings or fencing, things like that. So just let us know what you're thinking. We'll try to work with you. And if you do want to build, you can always pay off the loan early. There's no prepayment penalty. And what some people do if they know they want to build right away. Yeah. Thank you, Judith, for clarifying that. So, I did just want to say, what some people do when they know they're ready to build is they actually go to a regular bank and get a construction loan and use that to pay off the loan so that they can start building when they're ready. So those are some of the options. Like I said, just reach out to us and we will tailor terms to meet your needs. The other thing I'll note, though, is that the higher the down payment, the lower the interest rate we can provide. So, you can keep that in mind when you're thinking about what works best for you. The last thing I'll note is we don't have a minimum credit score requirement. So if your credit's less than stellar, that's not an issue too. And finally, we do offer a hold option as well. So you have time to go visit the property, call the county, do your research, make sure the property works for you. And it's $50 for every 2 days. You can hold for up to 8 days. And that hold fee is applied toward the purchase price. It's actually applied to the purchase price regardless of what property you purchase. So if you hold this one and decide another one works better for you, you can still apply the hold fee as long as you buy within 30 days. So that's our deal of the day. Our discount code for anyone who's here live is LiveNC200 for $200 off any of our North Carolina properties. That's valid until midnight, and you can apply it if you click buy or hold and click hold, and then you can put in the coupon code here. That's LiveNC200 for $200 off. All right. So let us take a look now at Zaphael's property. So, Wisconsin. Oh, is this right on the lake? That's very pretty if it is. And Wisconsin has some beautiful areas. And lots of lake views, it looks like. Apostle Island views. So it's 4 acres, it's a good size, and 254 feet of private shoreline. So I assume that does mean it has lake access then. Bears are there. Bears, yeah. Bears are everywhere, aren't they? So it does say it has fiber optic and power. Anything else of note here? Let's grab this parcel number. Yeah, Lake Superior. I love the Great Lakes from the Midwest, so. No HOA. Let's take a look at land ID. Bears are not in the desert. That's true. Yeah, I don't think you see many bears in the desert. Well, in the mountains you might, some desert mountains. Oh wait, which county is this? I might just have to pull it up with the address. We actually had a bear in our last home that would walk the street below our house first thing in the morning on garbage days, of course. But black bears, I don't think tend to be that aggressive as long as you don't bother them. Okay, so here it is right on the water. Yeah, actually, let me pull that up. So it was listed last year. It looks like they did a recent price cut around the year mark, a little before the year mark. So, yeah, it doesn't look like 4 acres, does it? Did I not pull up the right property? What does this say? No, it says 4 acres. So this must just be in an area with larger acreage in general. The waterfront lots are smaller, and then the wood lots are larger. Yeah, there are some wetlands. That would be maybe because everything's big. It is waterfront, so you'd think I would have. Now, it does look like there might be some wetlands, so a wetlands delineation would need to be done. I'm telling you, it's the bears. Bears. Yeah, don't don't keep your trash out in this area. All right, we'll pull up the soil report. Thinking. Okay, so yeah, it should be 4 acres. Bare necessities. And the soil doesn't look too bad here. Do bears like to play in wetlands? Sure. Bears like to catch, well, in Alaska and the Northwest, they like to catch salmon. So I think you could find them around wetlands. Yeah, but that's just in the back by the water. Here, it seems pretty decent. I don't know how many people are familiar with Fat Bear Week in Alaska, the grizzlies. You get to vote on, they take pictures of the bears as they get really fat before they go to hibernate, and you get to vote on which one is your favorite. Yeah. Might be an issue for a boat launch. Yeah, you might not even have rights to build a pier here. I don't know, that would be a question for the... I don't know if piers would be allowed. Oh, actually there's one over here. So yeah, maybe you could. Oh, we can pull it up in Google as well. But I would think the waterfront slope would be fairly similar across properties. We can look at the contour lines in general. But yeah, I mean, they all have fairly steep slopes and they're still able to build. That is a valid question. It does. Yeah. It seems like you don't really have like a beach that you could use to access the water, right? It's a little more like a cliff. Yeah. Yeah. People don't usually like do docks on Lake Superior. So, but I mean, you still get the water view, even if you're not getting like beachfront. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is like a cliff to the water, it looks like, not a beach. But I mean, you still get the water views. So let's see. It is an interesting location. Yeah, we are like right on the outer islands here. Let's see if anything's sold here. Not too many listings. But yeah, I mean, Sold comps are kind of right in the range. Maybe build a slide to the water. Well, yeah, you could do that. I'm sure you could probably still, I don't know, it's hard to tell quite how steep it is. I would guess you could still kind of get down there if you wanted to. I haven't seen those. I know you've talked about them, but I haven't seen them. That would be fun. Yeah, but anyway, the sold comps seem to be more or less kind of in line. And there are 10 sold comps to 3 listings. So, seems to be a good market right now here. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd say, what do you think, Abby? With the price cut, it doesn't seem to be. Don't forget the bears. Ask for a bear discount. Yeah, those were sold in the last 12 months. The 12-month filter's on. And that was for sale, actually. 12 months. Mm-hmm. So 10 sold, and we do have, I wonder why this one, 6 acres, that's the only thing that gives me pause. There's that one. I think it's over here. Bears can. Yeah. The Great Lakes are cold. Yep. You only want to swim in them when it's really, really hot out. It is very low volume. That's true. Not great. So let's see. Let's see why this one only sold for 73. You never, I mean, sometimes it might be like to family or something. Doesn't seem to have any. Well, they did manage to sell it pretty quickly, so maybe this. If it's by the shore, it might be unbuildable. Yeah, that one. That's crazy. Some people like that, though. I mean, like if you're looking for a vacation home. Well, you also have to look at what's being sold, right? Some people might really like that. Yeah, you see it's on an island. It's like a bunch of nature preserves. But since this one sold pretty quickly, this might be a better comp for the, the actual price point. How quickly did the others sell? Oh, this one sold pretty quickly too. Yeah, I mean, I think some people would like the idea of being on a island. So, yeah. Another example of how the value of land is in the eye of the beholder, right? But interesting. Yeah, the comps are a little bit all over the place. I mean, there's not too much data. That's the problem. No, I doubt it. How would it have a hospital? Abby is not sold on island living. There's the airport. So yeah. You stock up on groceries and take the ferry back, I would guess. Well, I mean, some people are doing rentals here, so that's another, sure, Airbnb. Hey, you want to see? Oops. There is a little market, so you can get basics. Is this where, I'm guessing there's like a ferry around here. How did the bears get to maybe they swam. So, yeah, there's a little market. You can get basics. And yeah, it looks like there's a ferry here in this port area. There's also a little airport. They have a School of the Arts. So, I don't know. It would be I think that'd be a nice vacation spot, like a little cabin on an island. They are hard to value. Waterfront. There's going to be less data. Anytime you start looking at unique lots like commercial waterfront, there's going to be less data. It makes it hard. Yeah. I think bears are good swimmers. I'd heard that. So, yeah, it's interesting property. Abby and I might have different opinions on how much it's overpriced, but I don't think Abby is sold on island living. So, one thing I'll say, if they want it to sell quickly, it might be a little overpriced. But that's not always the goal. So. Abby, do you have any last thoughts? Does Amazon offer same day? I'm guessing you don't get Amazon out here. But maybe they're everywhere now. As soon as they have drone delivery, you can do it. So it says fiber optic, actually. It said it on the listing. Yeah, it looks like there is fiber optic in the area. Yeah, that happens too. That's part of the problem with analyzing comps on land is you might get situations where it sells to a family member, might be kind of like an estate thing. When you have prices that are way off, there might be something going on that you don't see behind the scenes. How can bears swim 50 miles? They have a lot of muscle. So, yeah. The only caveat with all this also, you see there's not that much data. It's a small island, so. But pricing also kind of depends on what you're buying the property for and how soon and how quickly you want to sell it. So, yeah, they have some. Yeah, it's surprising. Many areas now have fiber, even where you wouldn't expect. So that's nice. They have fiber out here, and I'm sure there are people doing Airbnbs, things like that. All right, let's make that our fun fact of the day. Are there bears on the island? Madeline Island, Wisconsin. Let's see. And does the island have Amazon delivery? Okay. There are black bears on Madeline Island. At least there's evidence of their presence. So camera trap studies confirm black bear sightings among other wildlife. And the Madeline Island Wilderness Preserve has published that a black bear was caught by a camera trap there. So bears are known to swim between islands in the Apostle Islands chain. So they can reach Madeline, but it's probably not their primary habitat. Yeah, polar bears are expert swimmers. I know it's surprising because they're like so big and clunky, but they're actually pretty mobile. And can you get Amazon delivery? Yes, you can get Amazon deliveries on Madeline Island, but there are a few caveats. So if you're doing USPS, you have to pick the package up at your local post office. And Amazon shipping system sometimes imposes restrictions on certain items for specific addresses. But Amazon routes packages via a mainland carrier plus boat ferry to the island. I would be bored after 1 mile. Well, maybe if there's some very tasty berries at the end. Yeah, I mean, if you're stuck on an iceberg and your life depended on it, I'm sure you could swim that far. So, and yes, Albie. So it does look like Amazon is available in the area. There might be some restrictions, but there you go. Miracles of Amazon. Bears also have really good sense of smell. I don't know if they can actually smell 400 miles, but let's see. How far can bears smell? We're doing a bunch of fun facts today. All right, so yeah, they can't smell from 400 miles away. They can smell from 20 miles away. So, all right, now I think we can wrap up this segment. So we did our fun fact. So quickly, free gift. I think everyone here is familiar with it, but if you're just watching, we do have our 17 simple ways to generate income from land in 2025 report. That's 17 ways to generate income without building or putting on a home. All right, we'll continue our fun facts about Madeline Island. But the link to this is in the description and the pinned comment. So, as Raphael, you picked a good property. Everyone is interested in it. I don't know. I kind of maybe I'm a little partial to it, but I sort of like the idea of having a vacation home on an island. All right, there is a year-round population on Madeline Island. I'm sure winters are brutal, but it's 275 people live on the island full-time. And in summer, there is a population swell. It can be up to 2,500 to 3,000 people in the summer. So, how cold does it get in the winter? Cold. And in the winter, it's saying January average high is negative 22.9 degrees Fahrenheit. And wait, how is that the high? That can't be right. The average high is, 22.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Average low is negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's cold. I'm sure with the wind chill, it feels colder than that. You don't want government service. So there is a town, the town of La Pointe, which we saw where the ferry is and the market. And there's a municipal government for that town. Includes a full-time police department, volunteer fire department, and volunteer EMTs. There is a community clinic, so there's limited health services. No, there's a full-time police department here in La Pointe. And they do have a community clinic, so there are some limited health services if you really need them. There is an elementary school that goes to 6th grade. Good place for Mafia. What's the Mafia going to do on an island? And it does have the airport that we're seeing here. The town has a sanitary district, so close to town there will be some sanitation services. So I guess in town you would have public sewer and water. But a significant portion of the island includes parks, preserves, or wilderness, so protected from development. Fish. Yeah, I'm sure the Mafia run a big fish ring. Low violent crime rate, low property crime rate too. It's a small, close-knit community. Geographic isolation help reduce large-scale crime or organized crime. And there are local emergency services like the police department. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. Boat in, I would guess they take the ferry over here to Bayfield. That's what it's saying. This doesn't look like it would be very long. It's 20 to 25 minutes between La Pointe and Bayfield, this ferry here. So kids just have to get up early in the morning. Are you ready to move? Oh, another fun fact. So in the winter, the ferry pauses because of all the ice, and residents use the ice road or a wind sled for travel until the ferry resumes. So, be an interesting commute in the winter to high school. I have to take the ice road. All right. Any other questions about Madeline Island? You're spoiled. It builds character. Winter builds character. Okay. All right, so I think that wraps it up. That was a good one. Thank you, Zaphael. Maybe you can find some more interesting properties for us. How many kids live on? It's a dry cold. How many kids live on the island? So it says in total for all under 20s, there are 68. So 12 kids under the age of 5, 12 kids between 5 and 9, 23 kids between 10 and 14, and 21 between 15 and 19. So not too many kids have to take the ice road to commute to high school in the winter. I would guess that some families homeschool in a location like this too, but I don't know. I can ask ChatGPT that. There are online schools now too, so it makes a place like this a little easier. So it's saying, yeah, the kids do go to Bayfield Middle and High School. That means they take the ferry during open water months and wind sled or the ice road in the winter. And the Bayfield School District actually coordinates that commute. But a few families do homeschool. But most of the island children still attend public school in Bayfield. Mm-hmm. We are over time. You were very interested. For someone who wasn't all that thrilled about island living, you had a lot of questions about Madeline Island. Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of families have snowmobiles. Yeah, that's what it's saying. In the winter, that ferry route becomes an ice road. So you have to commute over the ice. That probably would not be something you'd be interested in doing, Avi. That's why you have to join all these live streams. You're the one who makes it entertaining, right? Okay. All right. I think we're well over time. So, you know what? We should do a listing on, I'm blanking on that name, the island where they don't allow cars. Mackinac, right? Mackinac Island. We should see if there are any land listings there. That would be fun to look at. Saying, yeah, in certain conditions you can, but it's usually via like snowmobile or wind sled. Yeah, Abe likes the warm. All right, so that covers everything. I did our free gift. Again, you can find all of our properties at land.gocap.com. The discount code is LiveNC200, LiveNC200 for $200 off any of our North Carolina properties. Yeah. Abby, can you find a Mackinac Island? Well, let's try to do Mackinac Island next, unless someone else has a, Zaphael, if you have another property or anyone has another property, feel free to list that. But I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. So bring your properties. We'll take a look. And if not, Abby will find an interesting property for us. So thank you all for joining. I hope to see you all tomorrow. And have a wonderful Thursday.